Yo guys, we're back for another episode of our FIFA 19 career mode with Bolton Wanderers. Here in this game, we start off with a game in the league against Preston United. Hopefully they're trying to keep this win streak going that we have on at the moment. Scoring a lot of goals, not conceding too many either, but hopefully we can carry this on in this game away against Preston. Obviously it's going to be a bit harder against it's a decent side, not brilliant, but it's a decent side. Shane Maguire up front looks like he's going to be a dangerous threat, and also Callum Robinson, I believe it is, on the left hand side for them. Looks like very dangerous players, and our team in the moment has been struggling to score a few goals. So hopefully we can bring in Van Buren, that is just playing his first game for us in this one. So hopefully he can make a big contribution. But anyway, getting straight into the first attack of the game with Van Buren picking his first touch with the ball. Gives it to Williams. He gives it out wide to Sammy Amiobi. He finds himself in a lot of space. He takes the shot, but the keeper makes the save quite easily, to be fair. Wasn't much of a danger at that angle, but at the end of the day, it's a shot on target, and that's the main thing for us. As he tips it behind for a corner, but nothing comes of it. Going into the second attack here, as you see, we try and attack and break out the defence, but as you see here, terrible piece of play. They open us up with ease, and Shane Maguire, a player that I said at the beginning we were going to be looking at as a threat, somehow puts that header wide. It was harder to miss than it was to score for them there, but they do manage to do it, and we try and pass out again, out of defence again with this side, and again it gets fluffed up and ends up coming at us with an attack. They take a couple of shots and brilliant reaction saves from the keeper, because somehow they should have ended up in the back of the net, but they didn't, luckily for us, and it does remain at 0-0. But in the 21st minute, they come forward, we intercept a couple of passes, but they end up winning the ball back, and Barkhuizen puts the ball in the back of the net to make it 1-0 here. And honestly, not good play from our team. As you see, 3 of their attacks so far in this game came from defensive mistakes of trying to pass the ball out of the defence, and it just wasn't working for us in this game. We were trying to play it cooler, it didn't work. It left a massive gap where Barkhuizen ran into. He took the shot, and it was an easy find into the back of the net. The keeper definitely should have saved that. It was right next to him. He definitely should have saved it, but didn't manage to. And it does mean that they went 1-0 up at this point. Not good enough play from our lads at the moment. But straight from the kickoff after this goal, we do come forward on an attack with Josh Vela now on the ball, giving the ball inside to Josh Williams, who gives it to Olawaska. They play a little 1-2, gives it to Lowe, who gets it onto Van Buren. He finds Joe Williams, who finds some space for Sammy Amiobi. He takes the shot and somehow finds the back of the net from such a tight angle. We got very lucky there to find the back of the net, to be honest. But that pass there absolutely made acres of space for Sammy Amiobi, and he puts the ball in the back of the net. The number 10 finds the back of the net. Like I say, such a tight angle there. The keeper probably should have done better, but at the end of the day, it's ended up in the back of the net, and I can't complain at that one bit. I'm very happy that we were back level after literally a minute or so, which is absolutely brilliant for us. But straight from kickoff again, they could try and come forward on an attack of their own with Shane Maguire. Wildshot uses his strength, knocks him off the ball, and we find ourselves on another attack of our own. It opened up the defence quite a bit here. Josh Vela plays through Van Buren on his debut. He cuts inside, takes the shot, and it is 2-1 after them taking the lead so early on in the 24th minute or 23rd minute, I believe it was. And now in the 28th minute, we were 2-1 up. It was such a good reaction from the lads that we turned it around so quickly. And Van Buren on his debut puts us in the lead to make it 2-1. Absolutely shabby defending, may I add, by number 5 there. It's Preston. Because honestly, he was right in front of me for most of that. He carried on moving when Van Buren took the shot, and he got out of the way of the shot pretty much, and that's what's turned it into the back of the net. But anyway, again, such an action-packed few minutes here. Straight from the kickoff of that goal, again, they come forward on the ball with Daniel Johnson, who gives it out to Callum Robinson. He breaks down that left-hand side. He gets the ball back after a little 1-2. He whips the ball into Shane Maguire, who puts the ball in the back of the net to make it 2 apiece now. In 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, there was 4 goals. In the first 20, there wasn't any until the 23rd minute. Between the 23rd and the 32nd minute, there was 4 goals in the back of the net. Absolutely shabby defending from both sides at this point. Honestly, absolutely terrible. And I think I was that gassed about going 2-1 up so quickly after going behind 1-0. I think I got a bit excited and just had a lapse of concentration. They put the ball in the back of the net to make it 2 apiece now. And honestly, we should have been winning at this point. But we did have a lapse of concentration, like I said. But in the 47th minute, going into half-time, we have one last attack with Josh Vela on the ball. We opened up the defence so easily. And Van Buren got very, very lucky there, but gets his 2nd goal on his debut to make it 3-2. We got very lucky. A bit of a questionable celebration, to be honest. But howdy ho. Let it go. Fucking, I don't know. Anyway, but it was so unlucky for them, let's be honest. It was a lucky piece of defensive play that pretty much we shouldn't have had the chance to score there. It was terrible defending to actually let us have the space in the first place. But the defender did well to cover us. But luckily for us, it did rebound back to Van Buren. And he puts the ball in the back of the net to make it 3-2. And again, another piece of shabby play. Passing out from the back causes our man, David Wheator, to slide in not very rationally there. And he takes down the man. At this point, I knew what was coming. Everyone here knows what's coming. If you're watching this, you know what's going to happen. Because honestly, that was a terrible challenge. And he does, in fact, get a red card from that. Honestly, it was terrible defending. But I had to do it. I had to at least try and take it. But Shane Maguire, too quick on the ball, too quick with his feet. And he takes the ball past David Wheator and gets him taken out. And straight from the free kick here, they have a beautiful chance to draw it back level as soon as the red card was given. Look at how much space there was in the defence there as they take the shot. And honestly, that should have been 3-3. No questions asked, that should have been 3-3. But he doesn't manage to put the ball in the back of the net at the end of the day. And it does remain 3-2. But at this point, Preston were just absolutely dominating us. We couldn't do anything on the ball. And that is how it equals that is how they equal the score. At the end of the day, they were just overpowering us after we lost that man and got that red card. They were just absolutely dominating us. There was nothing even when we had the ball, we wasn't having it for very long. They were just intercepting everything we were doing. And at the end of the day, it was always bound to come. I just had to make sure that they didn't take the lead now after this goal. I assume that I won't be able to stay out for the win, because at the end of the day, they were playing well in the first place with us having everyone on the pitch. But as soon as we lost that man, there was no chance that we were going to stay in the lead. But luckily for us, we do come out of it with a point. They couldn't quite grab the goal at the end to bring them in the lead. And I'm sure that they'd be disappointed with that, as, like I say, we did get that man sent off. And honestly, they were playing so well during this game. But unluckily, that is our win streak over. But it doesn't mean that we've still gone games unbeaten now to, I believe that's 5. But we have, in fact, lost our win streak, which is it's not too big a deal. I assumed it had happened at some point. but unluckily it did happen just then, as we now go into a training session before going into the second game of today's episode. We had a couple of training sessions as we did have an international break, I believe it was, so we did miss a week of a game. So we did have 2 training sessions in a row, and then we had a scout report on our young lads, trying to bring a couple more in. There was only one worse signing, as you've seen there, which we did a go ahead and assign to the youth academy. But now we go into our second and final game of today's episode against QPR, a team that I personally have always struggled against in every FIFA. I don't know what it is, but they just seem to always be able to attack against me in any way. As you see here, after 6 games, 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, 5 goal difference plus goal difference, and we are in second, which it proves we're playing well at the end of the day. We're getting the results we need, and that's the main thing. From the first day of the season, we haven't actually lost a game as up until this point, so we'll have to see how we go on in this game. But like I said, QPR is a team that I really always struggle against. I don't know what it is, I just don't seem to be able to defend against them. I can't attack against them. We always seem to have a tight back line they can never break down, and always have that attack that always pinpoints a certain thing in your side, and it just does me over every time. But hopefully going into this game, hoping to get the win, try and push on a little bit, at least get a draw out of this game. At the end of the day, I ain't expecting realistically to be up there with the best at the end of the season, because we ain't a very good side at the minute. Let's be honest, we've got a lot of places that we need to fill in, maybe get a couple of players to fill out some gaps or anything like that. But at the end of the day, if we can get into the playoffs, is where I'll hope to get into the playoffs. I don't see it coming any higher than that. The playoffs is a stretch as it is, but I would like to get into the playoffs if I can. But anyway, going into the first attack of this game, shall I say, is Van Buren picks the ball up too low, who puts the ball just wide of the post. It was an open gap pretty much for Lowe, but that is one thing I've noticed he lacks on, is his finishing, which I really don't like. He's brilliant at defending, but when he has to go forward, he is dreadful. He cannot attack. It's not that he can't attack, in fact. It's the fact that he cannot score. He's terrible at finishing. But anyway, he's good at build-up play, and Joe Williams now, the other CDM who actually can attack, plays a ball through into Sammy Ami Ober, who gets his shot saved. It was a great piece of play, to be honest, for Joe Williams to find Amiobi there, and it was a very good save by the keeper. It wasn't too hard of a save, but it was a good save nonetheless. And it does mean that we remain at 0-0 at this point, but we do try and get something from this corner, as Olowski gives it to Beavers, who gives it to Williams. It comes back out to him. Amiobi picks the ball up on the edge of the area, takes an ambitious shot, and it ends up in the back of the net with a beautiful finish there from Amiobi, bending it into the top corner with an absolutely pristine finish, taking it back on his, as you see here, he cuts into the box, he cuts back outside, lines up, and absolutely whips one into that far post. There was no way the keeper was saving that one at all. It goes under the defender's leg and ends up in the back of the net to make it 1-0, and it was looking like we was going to get at least a point out of this game, if not the 3. At this point, we were playing quite well. We was getting dominated a little bit, but when we was attacking, we were looking quite threatening, which is the main thing in this game. But on the 45th minute, straight from kickoff again, they do come on an attack and try and get themselves back level. As you see here, they come down that right-hand side. We didn't manage to tackle, but the pass out again gets intercepted. They cross it in, and what a finish. I said Amiobi's goal was good, but Tom Hemed has absolutely outdone him with an absolutely unbelievable volley there, spin volley. Absolutely smashing it into the top corner. I don't know what the defender was doing. As you see here, how did he miss that header for a start? He should not have missed that header. But as soon as it did, it was fully deserved that he scored that goal. What a volley. The keeper probably should have done a little better, to be honest, with how close he was. He just fell backwards. It was like he was hit by wind or something, that he fell backwards. But it does mean that they did draw level at 1 apiece at this point. But straight from kickoff in the second half, they come forward on another attack, trying to get themselves back in the lead and try and hopefully bring themselves back into contention of winning this game and finish start the second half the way they finished the first. As you see, they're whipping across again, trying to get the ball clear, and again we get absolutely just done over again, and again we give away a penalty. Honestly, at this point, playing out of the back doesn't seem to work with this side. There were so many times in the last game that I pointed out, like I say, with a lot of the chances, they came from us trying to build out from the back, and we just gave the ball away. And it happened again here, and again we conceded a goal. As you see there, he puts the penalty with ease into the bottom corner. Tom Hemed, after going 1-0 up, we go 2-1 down, and honestly, it was terrible. Like I say, the way we're building out from the back at the minute, as soon as one of our defenders get on the ball, I get worried, because at the end of the day, how many times we've given the ball away, just trying to get the ball clear, not even trying to, I wasn't even trying to pass out at that point. I was trying to absolutely smash the ball clear. But at the end of the day, he puts the, Beavers tackles his man through the back of him. He just absolutely clattered him. And at the end of the day, it ended up in the back of the net, and it does mean they are 2-1 in the lead at this point. And I'm going to say it was deserved, because they wasn't at all being, we wasn't attacking very well. We wasn't playing very well. As you see here, Olawaske giving the ball away there. It was an easy touch, and again, it's just deflected straight into the path of the striker as he whips the ball in the ball into the box. Aish somehow misses the shot. He should have at least put that on target. But at this point, we were just looking so bad. They were just playing with us at this point, but they tried to do the same thing as what we do, and it did cost them a mistake there, as Ostuma plays the ball into Van Buren, who takes the shot, and the defender, with a last-ditch block behind the keeper's leg, behind the keeper's arms here, as you see, beat the keeper, and it gets deflected by the defender. Beautifully defended there from the lad. It does come off his arm, so I don't know if that should have been a penalty. But it does end up meaning that we do stay 2-1 behind as they come forward on an attack. They take a nice piece of play there. Take a shot with Naki Wells, but he puts the ball just wide of the post. As you see here, a little 1-2 takes out our man. And it was a terrible shot from Naki Wells, where they kind of scuffed it. But that was the end of that game, and it does mean we have lost our first game in 5 matches, or 6 matches if you include this one. And honestly, we didn't deserve to win this game. To be fair, we probably didn't deserve to lose the last game either. We deserved to lose the last game as well as this one, if anything. But at the end of the day, we did get a point out of the 2 games today, and I suppose it's more than what we can ask for with the way that we played in these matches. But that is all for this episode. Thank you for watching. If you like, please leave a like, subscribing if you're new, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.